So now, Tim, tell me, who are your customers? What's the customer of custom clothing in London these days?
It's a very interesting client base. I mean, I think we set out to appeal to people who are buying at the better end of ready-to-wear, to consider British tailoring and British style as a serious alternative. But along the way, we've attracted a customer. I was trying to put my finger on this the other day, and I'd say all our customers are young people, but they're in different age bodies. And they're either very successful or potentially very successful. So they want to go somewhere where they're going to actually have an experience and where they're actually going to discover things about themselves. I think one thing that people forget about bespoke is about individuality. It's about having something made for you. It's actually an expression of yourself. And I think, the only way to be modern nowadays is to be yourself, because any kind of fashion you can buy in the high street, whether 80s revival, you can buy 60s, 70s, whatever you want really. So that quest for individuality, which is becoming much stronger, I think you can live through bespoke.
So please tell me, Tim, what would you describe as your personal style?
Well, when I started out, I was very heavily influenced by a lot of films that I grew up watching as a kid. Italian Job, Thomas Crown Affair, those sort of things. The Dolce Vita, maybe that's more sort of, sort of late 50s. But I kind of like that sort of, romantic sign of edge. But I loved those sort of images of Michael Caine coming out of the room after servicing those young ladies in the Italian Job in sort of impossibly tight Dougie Hayward suit.
Now tell me about the world of Mr. Tim.
Well, we started this sort of page on our website, which we're going to actually develop. A lot of the time we spend running around the world, and we end up meeting and being in the most extraordinary situations and things that never really get recorded, and it would just be quite fun to sort of remember certain things that kind of happened to us. Well, very funny stories. I mean, we worked about a year ago. I was kind of fascinated with the sort of hip-hop world, and we were invited to work with Rockefeller, with Damon Dash and Jay-Z, and he was over, Damon Dash, to present this film, The Woodsman, and we were asked to make sure that he was wearing the clothes that we put together for him. And we had this extraordinary day where we met the whole entourage. We had to meet him at one of the hotels in Soho. So we turned up there to the film crew in the front of the suite, interviewing for TV for film something, and we're asked to go to the back. And by that time, all the young people, I must have been at least 20 years old, and were completely exhausted and in various states of dress and undress in what would be the suite. So Tom and I walk into this room trying to be really sort of cool, coming completely cold. So we walk in the situation, and I'm thinking, yeah, I can do 21, I can do 25. So I'm sort of walking down like this, and Tom and I, so we decide to sit down, and both of us sit down, and as we sit down, we start lean back and lean back and lean back and lean back. We're completely horizontal, there's no back on these chairs, and I'm thinking, oh God, please swallow me up. So I get up really slowly, and I can see Tom doing the same thing, and then I jump up to the floor and say, "Isn't that the London Eye over there?" And Tom said, "What a great view." Unfortunately, he didn't notice us. But there are many, many little things that happen, and we never kind of record them. And that's a shame, really. So we're going to try and do things that actually happen when we travel, and things that we get involved in can be very fun.
Now, I know you're fascinated with denim, which seems contradictory for a British custom tailor. But what's your fascination with denim, Tim?
Well, denim is a very essential part of the modern wardrobe, and it's something we've been very interested in for some time. We worked with Levi's and Okini a couple of seasons ago on a tuxedo denim garment, which was based on something Bing Crosby wanted to wear in the 50s. And they'd found this in this archive, and he'd decided to have the suit made with lurex facings, all singing and dancing. And as we were working on this project a season or so ago, it struck me that any kind of denim was acceptable, and I thought maybe we should be looking at tailored denim, something that was really interesting, and possibly where the sort of consumer was going.
And do you do it custom-made for your clients?
We do. We actually do made to measure, and we also have ready to wear. How it started is we work with a lot of interesting people, particularly we were working with the Kaiser Chiefs, which was one of the biggest selling British bands of last year, and the trend for a lot of them is to wear formal wear more casually. So a tailored waistcoat with a pair of jeans that actually fitted in the crotch, and they wanted things that were kind of pure and very clean. They didn't want something they were going to wear around their knees that's got every kind of wash, like a Chernobyl wash, as someone said when it little later.
Okay.